Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you again for another Appalachian Trail community news, thru hiker update, and trail information. Well, it's been a skinny minute since I talked to y'all last time. I had 2 weeks off. Had one was my birthday, so thank you for all the folks that sent me in happy birthday wishes. That was awesome. I got carpal tunnel from giving everybody a thumbs up, so thanks a lot for that. But then also it was just great for everybody to send those in, and then last week, Trail Boss and I went up to the Blue Ridge Parkway here in North Carolina and went leaf peeping with about 100,000 other people up there. So I thought I was going to be the only one with that idea. That was not the only one. We didn't even get out and hike much at all just because all the trailheads were overwhelmed and it was just ridiculous. So the lesson is that go during the week. So next year we're going to take off and go during the week, and hopefully that'll cut back down on the crowds or something. But of course we went up on a Sunday, laid out of church, went up on a Sunday to get out in God's creation, to get out in his actual theater, his temple, and nope, that was not a great idea. So won't be doing that again. But in any case, so did have a good time just together, driving and everything, and so look forward to doing it again. But I am now back here in the foothills of North Carolina, and if you can't see it behind me, it is just absolutely gorgeous here. So this is my favorite time of year when it feels good to get out, although it's 81 degrees right now, but then it's getting ready to drop down into the highs, going to be in the 50s. But enough with all that stuff. You came here hear about what's going on with the Appalachian Trail, and so let's just jump right to it. So most of the thru hikers that we have been tracking have been checking in. They have all either summited or checked out or what have you. So we don't have a lot of folks out. We do have Patriarch, and he's still out there on the trail. He's doing a flip-flop. He's passed over Bear Mountain now on his Sobo trip, and so he's going to be crossing into Connecticut, he says, tomorrow, and he's only got about 150 miles left so on his flip-flop. So that's awesome. Glad to hear that. He did say he's been running into quite a few hikers out there on the trail, some thru hikers, so I take it that's Sobo or flip-floppers. And then, of course, your typical lashers and section and day hikers and stuff he's been running into. But he did run into a couple folks that he hiked with up in Maine. So that's the thing about the Appalachian Trail is it just amazes me how you run into somebody and you think you'll never see him again in your life, and maybe months later you see him somewhere else on the trails. Happened to me before when I was out for a section hike, saw a thru hiker down in Grayson Highlands, and then the next thing I know, when I'm hiking up in Vermont, run into him at a shelter. So it's just amazing how the trail provides like that. But in any case, he did say the weather has been really ideal during the days, and at night it's kind of been getting down just below freezing, so not too bad, but he should be finishing up here very shortly. BD, she did have to get off trail, so she's a flip-flopper. She was on her Sobo section of her flip-flop, and then she actually flipped ahead down to, she started at Harper's Ferry, went north, then flipped back to Harper's Ferry going south, decided she wanted to go to flip down to Springer, so she did that and started heading back north, and she's from this area or that area down there, and so she wound up getting COVID. So it seems like I've heard of more people getting COVID this year than I have last year and even the last 2 years out there on the trail. But anyway, she got COVID, so she had to get off, but she's only got like 15 miles left to finish, and I believe all that's in the Smokies, so she's getting ready to finish up, and she's just going to do that on day hikes, which will probably be a single day hike for her. But that'll be awesome when she finishes. And that is really all the folks I've got out there. So if there's anybody else out there, I know there's still some Sobos out there. Fresh Ground's been feeding some of them, and I've ran into a few when Come Along and I did a section up in Virginia a couple weeks ago. So if you're out there on the trail, then please, and you want to be included in my updates, and please let me know. Love to include you in that. And then also we've got 2024 folks that are starting. We've got our support list up and running now. So the link to see who's on the support list is down below. And if you're a 2024 hiker, thru hiker, the link to put you in your social media is also down below as well. We got about 43-ish folks that are on there right now, so of course we want to build that, and it's out there for the benefit of the 2024 and the benefit of the thru hiker, or not just the thru hiker, but the hiker community in general. So thru hikers can go there and get support and accolades from the hiker community, and the hiker community can go there and follow people that are out there on the trail that are doing their thru hike. So it's there for everybody's benefit, so take advantage of that. Hopefully you will use that. And then we do have some summits since the last time that you saw me. So we got Tracy and Jasper. They are two brothers who I met down in Massachusetts. It's pretty neat to meet them. They're both wearing these same shirts that they actually summited with. So I don't know if they'd changed them since Massachusetts, not by the looks of them. But anyway, it was pretty cool because I can't remember which one I met first. I think it was Jasper. And then, he told me he was hiking with his brother, and he said, he's a couple miles behind me. I said, what's his name? He said, Tracy. I said, all right, we're going to play a trick on him, and I'm going to see him and pass him and tell him, hey, Tracy. And so that's what I did. He was coming up the trail, and I said, hey, how you doing, Tracy? And just kind of kept on going like nothing. And he was like, hey, how do you know my name? How do you know my name? And I said, man, you're famous. I've been tracking you on YouTube. He's like, no way, really? And then of course, he recognized me, and then he went, oh, you saw my brother. So, but anyway, it's pretty neat just to do that out there on the trail. But they summited. They were summit numbers 2,273 and 2,274. So those are the highest numbers that I have right now for folks that have summited. So if you know of somebody that's got a higher number than that, let me know, and let me know when they finish. I'm trying to find out how many folks actually summited that are, that were pure Nobo. So let me know about that. Pale Rider, he summited. We'd been following him for a while. He was number 1,226 at Katahdin and 997 when he left from Springer. And so he said the temperatures up there, the wind howling, it was actually just horrendous. Ice, snow, rain, you name it, they had it up there. 60-mile-an-hour winds, slinging, stinging sleet in their faces. So they were only up there long enough to get the pictures taken, and then they got the heck out of Dodge. So he also, on that same day or so, he came across some other thru hikers that had summited that day, and that was a guy called, he was from the Czech Republic. He didn't say what his name was, but he was from the Czech Republic. Then there was Slowgate, Thompson, Sitting Bear, and of course Pale Rider. So all those folks summited there on near about that day. And then Iron Mike's dad sent me in his summit. Didn't send me any his picture or his summit number, but Iron Mike, congratulations, Dad. I appreciate you sending that to me. Met Iron Mike when I was down at Trail Days. So it's always neat to see people you meet at Trail Days. You always wonder, did they finish or not? So some of them keep reporting to me or updating me along the way, and some folks don't, and that's cool because I know you get busy out there on the trail, and of course you're not always around any type of Wi-Fi or something to send me an update. But I met Iron Mike, and so that was neat to meet him down there. And then Mona Lisa, who's a thru hiker from 2021, I believe, and she is a Foothills regular on the End of Days hike, and somebody who I consider a friend, and we correspond back and forth occasionally. She wanted to send in that she had been following Cloud and his daughter Courtney, and she did indicate that Cloud had summited. She didn't indicate about Courtney, so I don't know, but congratulations at least to Cloud. So if you are out there and you have summited, whether we've been tracking you or whether you've been updating me or not, please let me know. Let me know what your numbers are and when you summited or when you finished your hike, wherever you finished your hike. We want to know all that. We want to celebrate with you, but particularly right now, I'm interested in your Nobos because I want to find out who the last number was and how many that we actually finished this year. Last year, I think I got the folks that had finished it. The last day was Pigpen and Backwards, and they had sent me in their numbers, and they were number 1,428. So we have far surpassed that this year with, around 800, 750-ish, something like that, of folks that have summited already. So we did do a better job this year than we did last year. So, but I would like to know what that final number is. Some news going on out there. Of course, by now, everybody knows that Katahdin has closed, so that signifies the end of the Nobo season. I think it closed on October 20th. So they gave like the day before 24 hours notice that they were closing. So that's not a lot of time for people to get there. But of course, anytime mid-October, they're liable to close at any time, just based upon the weather conditions, how wet it's getting up there, and they want to protect that alpine environment, and so they just give people 24 hours notice, and that's really all they can do. So they are closed, so that is it for no-bow season. And they actually closed on the 21st, day before my birthday. So they are going to be starting on November 1st. They'll be taking reservations for people that are going to be camping and summiting when it gets cold enough to do so. So once everything gets frozen solid over there and there's no possibility of damage to the alpine highland environment up there, they will let people start going back up to Katahdin. And of course, a lot of people that didn't make the cutoff there, no bows, they will go up and do that. It's very cold. Sometimes it can be like Arctic conditions up there. And then actually we've had Sobos that have started there. So 2021, I believe his name was Aquaman, and he started Sobo right as soon as he could get up there in late December, maybe it's early January. He started Sobo and he came all the way through. Of course, he was post-holing a lot of the way through, particularly through the New England states. But people do that. And then Whispers, who is our northern correspondent, not a lot of course going on up there in the Whites where he typically hangs out and gives us updates and stuff from. He did say that snow's starting there at the higher elevation. So here's Mount Washington. They've already gotten snow. Of course, Mount Washington can get snow and has recorded snow every month out of the year for the past a lot of years. So not that it snows every month, every year, but then they've recorded snow every month since the years that they've been recording snow up there. So, but they are starting at higher elevations up there. He also wanted to tell everybody that, or remind everybody about wearing orange. So up and down the trail, pretty much the whole way, particularly down here in the south, we got a bunch of crazy hunters out there who may not have good vision. They may have what's called buck fever, and that means if it's moving, you're shooting it. So people need to be wearing orange on their head, orange on their backpack, something that sticks out that is not fur colored, deer fur colored. So please do that while you anywhere on the trail right now. And that season really lasts until the 1st of January in a lot of states, particularly down south. So keep that in mind as you're hiking through. It's also bear season. So not a lot of people look like bears. More people look like deers and bears, but you never know about a hunter out there. So I'm a hunter. Don't mean to be disparaging about hunters, but people do get that buck or boar fever. So just keep that in mind out there. And then also a section of the trail is not closed, but it's going to be restricted, and that is due to the continued construction of the Mountain Valley Pipeline through the Sims Gap area there at Peters Mountain. So that's No-Bow Mile 649. So they'll have a narrow corridor. They're not restricting hikers from the AT, but it's a very narrow corridor through there that they're going to have, kind of like orange construction fence up, that you have to stay in that as you go through there. And there's no camping or no stopping or lingering or any of that as you go through that area. So keep that in mind as you're up there. And then the road up to Beauty Spot Overlook, which is No-Bow Mile 355-ish. Sometimes people call that Indian Grave Gap there, or Beauty Spot, which is at the top of a mountain. And it's a really great overlook up there, but that road is closed. So you'll be able to hike into it, but you won't be able to get up there to it. So keep that in mind as you're going through there. Looks like we're being surveilled by aircraft up here now. So, and then we got also Miss Janet's 10th annual hiker Thanksgiving dinner. So she's going to be spearheading that again. Of course, she doesn't just do it on her own. It's very much a community effort. She'll be doing that there on November 23rd at 3 o'clock at Laughing Heart Hostel in Hot Springs. So everybody in the hiking community is invited. Come on out and do that. There's no cost. If you want to, it's a covered dish. So if you want to bring something, great. If you don't want to bring something, no worries. Everybody's welcome to that. And then, of course, certainly not least of which, we have the End of Days, Ramdino's End of Days hike. It's going to be on the Foothills Trail again this year, mixing it up a little bit. We're going to be going from the eastern part there, starting in the east there at Table Rock State Park and going west. There's a Facebook page that I've set up specifically for my End of Days hike, and that is down in the description section below. Please go there, and if you're going to be on that hike, we want to know about it. I've started an event there in that, and the event is just a means that you can let us know if you're coming or not. Fresh Ground's going to be there, so it's going to be about 5 days. It's like a 75-mile trail, so it's going to be about 5 days worth of hiking, give or take. Probably more given, so more like 5 to 6 days, depending on how fast you hike. But Fresh Ground's going to be there supporting. Since we're starting in the east, there's a section, about a 30-mile section in there where there's no road crossings or anything like that. So Fresh Ground won't be able to get to us on like day 3. But the first and second day he'll be feeding, not day 3, but day 4 and 5 he'll be feeding. So breakfast, dinner, or breakfast and supper, things like that. So I'll have more of an itinerary the closer we get to that, but you won't have to hike, you won't have to bring too much food up there because he is going to be feeding us and supporting us through there. So I wanted to just talk a little bit, or really answer a question that a viewer had about that. So I had a viewer sent in that said they were interested in a hike. They wanted to know, since it's at your own pace with no defined days, miles, or stops or waypoints, then how is this different from hiking on your own? It seems it would basically just about be a group shotgun start and maybe some chance encounters down the trail. Please help me understand the benefits. So I wanted to answer that. I did want to help understand the benefits. One, you're out in God's creation. That's beneficial. It certainly is to me. I love hiking. If you're even considering this, you're part of the hiker community. And so that's how it benefits people to get out and hike. And we don't all start together in a big group. That's just not how it works. And even if we did, everybody hikes at their own pace. And so you're going to get spread out. And so it's not a big line going down the trail. And here comes Daisy. It's not just a big group going down the trail. We all start at different times because people have to shuttle from, all right, Daisy, I'm right in the middle of talking to America here, okay? So I need for you to get down. All right, girl. Okay, all right, go find Coda. Go find Coda, please. Down, just, or sit or something, okay? Be a good girl. All right, back to our episode here. So, where was I? Okay, so one of the things about it is that, you have to shuttle. And so there's only so many shuttles that are available, so many people in the area that do shuttle, and so there's only so many people that can be shuttled at one time. So you wind up doing a shotgun start. Like I wanted to start myself. I wanted to start at 8:30, but I couldn't, or actually I wanted to start at 9:30 because it takes us about 2 hours to get there, but I couldn't because my shuttle driver, Taz, didn't have availability for that. So we're not going to be able to start till like 10:30. So you can only start when the shuttle driver can help you with that, can get you shuttled on that. So that's one reason why the shotgun start. But also different people get down there at different times. Last year we had people that were flying in the night before, and then people that are driving from Florida, from Ohio, just all over the place. So you never know when you're going to get started. But you usually wind up meeting, particularly at where Fresh Ground's going to be, usually a big group of people there. You may not see the same group every time, but there is definitely camaraderie that's shared. There's definitely conversation. I have made friends on there that when I started this 3 years ago, that to this day I still correspond with, still occasionally talk to out there on the, when I see them, maybe just a text or something like that. But there's still people that I correspond with, and friendships that I've developed over the years from that. So it's really neat. It's a great time for the hiker community to come out together, those that can get on trail to come out. There's a lot of benefits to it. Camaraderie there. We usually get together at night, and there's always a bunch of people camping in the same spot. And so, you may not be with the whole group of 30 that started. There may be 10 here and 5 here and 10 there, but believe me, it is really a neat time to come out and just get on trail. And then a lot of people don't finish it. I haven't finished it. The 2 previous years I've done this, I haven't finished it. One year is just going to be no fun at all for me. I'm a fair weather hiker. It was going to be raining for 2 days straight, so I just bailed on that. And then last year I got hurt. So this year, and those 2 years we started in the west and went east, and so I haven't seen the eastern part of the trail. So that's why we're starting from the east this year. I want to see the other section of the trail. So that's what we're going to do. So go to that Facebook page. I hope you will. If you are a veteran end of days hiker, go there and post. Let other people know, what they can expect, what it's like. Let people know about the camaraderie that we share out there. Post some pictures to that Facebook page, and love to hear from you. Love to see the old pictures from years before, and I think it's going to be a really great time. So invite everybody in the hiker community to come out to that. And we'll just have a good time together. All right, folks, that is all I've got this week. As always, get out there and hike while these leaves are gorgeous like this. You need to enjoy some of God's creation, and I'm really loving it now. Appreciate you, and we'll see you out here.